Hi class, welcome back. So as promised, I'm going to give you a review on what we covered in yesterday's class that are negatives in the simple present tense and pronouns. The three pronouns we learned were the subject, the object, and the adjective pronouns, right? So in honor of almost Valentine's Day, I hope you have a wonderful week. And please remember there will be no school on Valentine's Day on February 17th, 14th, and 17th, okay? So no school Friday and Monday. So you'll have a wonderful long weekend. Okay, let's get started. Okay, what we need to remember is the subject. This is the subject pronoun, right? It goes before the verb. Now, there's two ways to use the negative. Depending on the subject, we need to use do not or does not. I cannot stress, this is very important that you remember the difference between the two, because do and does are also used in questions, okay? So let's take a look. If I have I, you, we, they, and I want to change it to the negative, then I need do not. The negative goes in front of the verb. The verb will never have S, ES, or IES. It will be in the original form. We call it the base form of the verb, okay? So for example, if I say women love flowers, and I, you, we, they, there's no problem, right? Because this is easy. The verb never has S, ES, or IES, so it's simple. We just put do not or don't in front, right? Because Americans like to talk fast, so they abbreviate, they shorten it. So I could say women, because the E, this is plural, right? Women don't love flowers, right? In this case, if I have he, she, it, in the simple present tense, we learned this is special, right? He, she, it. In that case, it's the same. The verb after the negative has no S, no ES, no IES. But we don't say do not, we say does not. It's special, right? Or to be shorter, we say doesn't, doesn't. So let's say Amy. Amy is what? She, right? Okay, so she, she. So he, she, it. I need to change the verb, right? So I have this S. But if we want to change it to the negative, we say, Amy doesn't. And what do we need to do here? We need to take out this S, right? Amy doesn't travel to France every year, okay? The same could be for it. I could say maybe the bird, right? The bird. The bird is it. So I could say it flies in the sky, right? This is correct because we have it, he, she, it. You need to change this, right? You need to change it, the Y, because it's a consonant in front, that L, right? Let's look at that. So the original form of the verb is fly. We changed it to IES. Why? Because this consonant, right? The consonant before the Y. So we changed this to IES. So if we have the negative, we need to say it doesn't fly. We need the original form of the verb, okay? Now, remember in class, we talked about the verb have, right? So if I say, for example, I have a car, right? In this case, it's simple. This is the original form of the verb. I just add don't. Right? However, if I have, let's say, she or he in front, and I say has, if I say he has black hair, right? And I look at him, I'm like, no, he has blonde hair, right? So I need my negative in front, which is doesn't. But this is not okay. This is not the original or the base form of the verb. You must change this to have. Always. Right? Okay. I hope you're doing okay so far. I'm going to give you some example sentences, and I'll pause the video to let you practice some. After that, I'm going to teach you the negative for the be verb, okay? Okay, class, take a look at these 5 sentence examples. I want you to carefully look at these sentences and include the negative, okay? So what I'm going to ask you to do is pause the video, write these sentences. When you're ready, click play, and I'm going to show you the answers. Okay, how are you doing? Is it easy, so-so, or Well, let's do them together. Let's see how you did, okay? So every morning, my neighbor works. Okay, so my neighbor, a man or a woman, right? Okay, so he or she. So doesn't, right? Doesn't, and then no S, right? No S, no ES, no IES for the negative. So every morning, my neighbor doesn't work in her garden. She doesn't give me flowers. She doesn't give me flowers because she is mean. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, so what about number 2? My grandparents. Careful with that. Parents always relax at the beach. They don't always relax at the beach. We're going to talk about this next week, okay? This is called an adverb. Well, don't worry about this. We'll talk about this later, okay? Okay. What about number 3? The animals. So they don't sing to me every morning, right? Okay, number 4. Sam, Jim, and I. Is this we or they? And I. It's always we, right? So we don't match today, right? It doesn't matter. There's no change for this ES. Why? Because we. No change, right? We don't match today. We don't wear the same clothes. Match. What is match? This is a verb. It means to wear the same clothes. For example, if I wear this shirt and my friend wears the same shirt, we match. The same clothes, same style, right? Okay, last one. You don't brush your teeth before school. Ew. I'm kidding. Okay. Do you have any questions? Do you feel okay? Let me give you one more. Let's say, how about, my teacher is he or she, right? My teacher finishes. Why do we have that ES? Because SH, right? So in front, I need the negative. My teacher doesn't finish class late, right? Okay, now let's take a look at the be verb and look at some examples with the negative. Then after, we're going to look at pronouns, okay? Okay, now remember, right? For the other action verbs, do or does, not, this goes before the verb, right? The negative goes before the verb. The be verb follows a different rule. It's special because we have the be verb and then the negative goes after. See, here the negative is first, then we have the verb, right? But here it's opposite. The negative is second. So the be verb has three options, right? For example, I am, he, she, it is, and you, we, they are, right? So these are all the be verbs, right? I am, he is, you are. Okay. So I am a mean person, right? This is I am a mean person. But if I say, no, you put I am not. Do not use this here. Okay? Never. If you see this be verb, put the negative after. Do not confuse this. Do not use this. The be verb is separate. So I am not a mean person. He is not ugly. You are not very brave. That's not true. You are very brave, right? Now, as we talked about before, we'll learn in another video how we can shorten these. These pronouns and these verbs can be shortened, right? For example, I am. I'll show you a little bit. We can say I am or I'm. I'm. I could say he is or he's, right? Or she's. It's very important you include this apostrophe or it's, right? Or you are, your. What about we are, we're. They are, their. Right? These are examples of combining the pronoun and the verb. You have other options, right? There's a lot of options. For example, if you want, you can say is not, he is not. If you want, you could say he isn't. Or she isn't. Or it isn't ugly. If I want to say are not and make it short, I could say you aren't. You aren't funny, for example. Or we aren't happy. Or they aren't hungry, right? You have two options of combining it. I could have the pronoun and the verb together, or I can put the verb and the negative together, right? There's two options. Now, let me give you some quick examples, a little bit more practice with the negatives, and then we'll talk about pronouns. Okay, we have some examples here. I'm sorry, I saw earlier that this part, you could not see this part, right? For the other, for the negatives, it said do or does not. So now I think you can see everything. I want you to look at these examples, okay? Press pause and try to complete this. When you are ready, press play. Okay, let's take a look. So, be verb, you are, be verb is special. So you are, easy. You are not very beautiful. That's not true. You are very beautiful and handsome, okay? Now look at this. She likes, she doesn't, no S, right? She doesn't like this class because she has a mean teacher, right? Okay, now what about this? Tim and Jacob. We or they? They, right? They don't play soccer. No S, no ES, no IES. We're good. Okay, my grandpa. He is a fisherman. Fisherman is someone who goes fishing. Okay? So he is not. Or to make it short, isn't a fisherman, right? This is someone who goes fishing, right? And give a little hat. Okay, he smokes. Okay, S. So he doesn't smoke cigarettes. Okay, how are you doing? Take a look at these examples, and now we're going to look at pronouns, the different types of pronouns, okay? You're doing great. Okay, so with pronouns, we know this. The subject pronoun is easy. It goes before the verb, right? I, you. You can be one person, or you can be 100 people, right? You, he, she, it. It can be for animals, right? But for dogs or cats, people say he or she sometimes, or it for a dog or cat, right? We and they. Now, you first need to see where the verb is, right? You need to look for the verb. After the verb, I changes to me. You is the same, you. He, him. She, her. It, it. We, us. They, them. A lot of students have problems with this. They say, oh, I like us. Oh, I like we. Us is because it's after the verb, right? We need to be careful. So I'm going to give you some sentence examples, and I want you to change the pronoun to a general pronoun, okay? Let's see how we do. Take a look at these 4 example sentences. I want you to change these specific pronouns into general pronouns. Okay? Pause the video and press play when you're ready. Okay, Tim. Tim is he. He loves his bike, right? His bike. So that is it. He loves it, right? Okay, now what about girls? Plural. They. Not she, right? Because plural. They hate. Ooh, okay, look at this. Plural. Dress. Dresses. They hate them. Because it's plural. Okay, my friend and I, we watch the movie. It. We watch it. My mom, she gives after the verb, right? My brother and me. Is this we or they? Or is this us or them? After the verb, my brother and me. My brother and me. So this is us. Hugs. This is a hug. Hugs. So she gives us hugs. How are we doing? Now the very last part, I'm just going to show you very quickly the adjective pronouns, right? And then if you have any other questions, you can write in the comment section below or send me a message on Remind if you need more help, okay? Okay. The last part are called adjective pronouns. Adjective, right? We know adjectives go in front of the noun, right? So we change this. So whenever you have an adjective pronoun, it goes in front of a noun. So for example, this is my house. That is his car, right? His car. If I say, for example, Tim's car. This car belongs to Tim. But if I want to be general, I can say his car. Or for example, that is Caroline's dog. We'll talk about this later. This is a possessive adjective, right? Caroline's dog, or more general, her dog. It, if it's like a bird, this is the bird's home. It's a nest, right? A bird's home. A bird's home in the tree is called a nest. So we can say its nest. Now look, very careful. It has no apostrophe. Apostrophe means it is, right? No apostrophe is possessive. Its nest. This is your book. That is our teacher. Oh, and this is their movie, right? Okay, you're doing great. Next class, we're gonna have a little short quiz to review everything we learned from our first and second class, okay? Then we're gonna be focusing on learning more of these possessives. We're gonna talk about adverbs of frequency, and we're gonna work on questions for this coming week, okay? Again, you're doing great, fantastic. I'm very happy you are in this class, and together we will learn a lot more, and I'm very excited, okay? I'll see you soon. Bye, have a great weekend.